cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza, meat pizza,
Margarita pizza.
the controversial Hawaiian pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? I love it. Australians, Americans, Italians love it. Everyone loves it. I'm from Wonder Wisdom, and in this video I'll give you an overview of the history of pizza and types of pizza in Italy. I recently went to Rome and Naples, Italy, to know which pizza I like the most. Guess what recent surveys uncovered? Turns out pizza is the ultimate food obsession for most of us. Can you believe it? I mean, who wants to eat the same thing forever, right? Let's dig into the incredible history of pizza and set the record straight. Time to separate fact from fiction and uncover the truth behind this wild claim. Get ready for the real scoop on this cheesy delight. The ancient roots of pizza can be traced back to the Old World without a doubt. Incredibly, archaeologists have stumbled upon a kind of bread in Sardinia that dates back at least 3,000 years. It's pretty clear that the Sardinians were already well aware of the wonders of yeast and baking even way back then. Back in the day, the ancient Greeks had their own version of flatbread called plakounts plakountas. They would whip up these tasty treats and jazz them up with flavors like garlic or onions. It's like they were ahead of their time in the realm of flavorful bread creations. In the 6th century BC, the soldiers under the command of Darius the Great, the king of Persia, had an ingenious way of baking flatbread. They would place the dough on the backs of their shields and let the scorching sun work its magic. This special bread was often enhanced with the delightful combination of dates and cheese. Moving forward in history, during the 3rd century BC, Cato the Elder, who was not only a Roman historian, but also a culinary enthusiast, described flat rounds of dough dressed with olive oil and herbs baked on stone. Fast forward to the 1st century BC, the famous Latin poet Virgil mentioned the use of flatbread as a makeshift cutting board during meals, and it could even be consumed at the end of the feast. Talk about multitasking bread. Even in the ancient city of Pompeii, which got totally wrecked by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE, they found evidence of flatbreads. It's like they were onto something way back then. They had shops with fancy marble tabletops that look just like what you'd see in a hip pizzeria today. And it's not just Pompeii. Plenty of other Mediterranean peeps were in on the flatbread game too. The Etruscans had their own version, and so did the cool cats from Catalonia with their leavened bread called coca. The Sardinians rocked the scene with their karasu, and many other cultures around the world had similar creations meant to go hand in hand with meats or fish. But let's be real, these were all just early prototypes of the amazingness we now know as pizza. Now let's dive into the juicy details of the name pizza. It's a bit of a mystery. With a bunch of different stories floating around, some folks think it comes from the Latin word pinso pinsari, which means to pound or flatten. Makes sense, right? Because pizza dough needs some serious netting action to become that iconic flat circle we adore. Others connect it to the ancient Greek word picte, which means fermented pastry, and later got all fancy in Latin as picta, and maybe, just maybe, that eventually evolved into the glorious word pizza. Pretty intriguing, huh? Hold on to your pizza-loving hats because here comes another theory. So get this, the word pizza might actually have its origins in the ancient Greek term pisa, which referred to bran bread. And here's where it gets interesting. In Greek, a double sigma can also be interpreted as a double tau. So if you squint your eyes a bit, you can read it as pita, which just so happens to be a type of flatbread. Mind-blowing, right? Now let's fast forward to the year 997 CE. Picture this. We're in a town called Gaeta, chilling in southern Italy, and guess what? The name pizza makes its grand debut in a vulgar Latin document. Gaeta, still part of the Byzantine Empire at that time, was talking about a fantastic gift of the dodecim pizzae, meaning 12 pizzas. These pies were meant to be given to the Bishop of Gaeta in Christmas and Easter. Talk about a heavenly holiday treat. Who knew pizza had such a fascinating journey through time and language? Hang tight because we're not quite at the modern pizza masterpiece yet. We're still in the realm of rustic flatbread goodness, so anything mentioned about pizza before the 16th century is basically referring to a pie topped with a white sauce. They called this creation mastuncola, and it was all about resourcefulness. They'd take some leavened bread, slather it with caciocavallo, cheese, basil, and lard. Sounds tasty, right? By the 17th century, this dish was already a hit. The Bourbons near the royal palace of Caserta raised water buffaloes brought to Italy by the Lombards after a Roman Empire fell. They topped their flatbreads with buffalo mozzarella, and it became a crowd pleaser enjoyed by both the wealthy and the common folk. Finally, the brilliant minds of the Neapolitans took this humble dish and transformed it into something closer to what we imagine today. Now, it's hard to pinpoint the exact moment tomatoes entered Italian cuisine, but we know it had to be after Christopher Columbus sailed to America in 1492. Those Spanish colonizers brought tomatoes from Peru to Italy, and although they were initially believed to be poisonous, they were eventually utilized in a sauce and spread over flatbread. By the 1800s, using tomatoes on flatbread had become a widespread practice. And thus, pizza marinara was born. It was aptly named because the sauce consisted of simple ingredients suitable for the budget-conscious sailor or mariner. This sauce could withstand long sea voyages without spoiling. To amp up the protein, some legends suggest that minced fish like anchovies or sardines might have been added to the sauce, hence the name marinara, meaning sailor style. Now here's a legendary tale for you. In 1889, a Neapolitan pizza maker named Rafael Esposito had a stroke of genius during a visit from Queen Margherita of Savoy. He decided to create a special pizza with the colors of the Italian flag. Basil represented green, mozzarella cheese represented white, and tomato sauce represented red. In honor of the Queen, he named this masterpiece Pizza Margherita, and that's when history was made. But wait, there's more. With the mass emigration of Italians to other countries such as America in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, pizza became a global sensation, and after World War II, its popularity skyrocketed even further. Pizza truly conquered the world, one tasty slice at a time. Let's dive into the Australian and America's pizza, seen as an example. Pizza has truly captured the hearts and taste buds of Australians, and it's quite surprising considering its relatively recent introduction in the late 1940s. It all began when Italian and Greek migrants arrived in Australia following the aftermath of World War II. Since then, the pizza scene in our country has undergone a rapid evolution. It started with the family-owned pizza shops popping up in the late 1950s, followed by the emergence of larger chain pizza shops in the 1970s and 1980s. But here's where Australia shines bright. We've been at the forefront of the gourmet pizza trend. In fact, a recent survey by market research firm IBIS World called Pizza Restaurants and Takeaway in Australia revealed that an increasing number of Aussies now prefer pizza that's crafted with love, using fresh, sophisticated ingredients and traditional methods. That's right, gourmet pizza has become one of the fastest growing segments in Australia pizza market in recent years. The first ever pizza in the United States was crafted by a man named Gennaro Lombardi in New York City back in 1905. Following his lead, Franco Pepe fired up the pizza game in New Haven, Connecticut. With his coal-fired creations, from there, the pizza friendly only grew, and over the next century, pizza became the reigning champion of popular food in many countries, with countless chain restaurants of varying quality. First things first, Italians don't split pizzas. Each pizza is an individual entree served in a personal size intended for one person. These portions are typically generous enough that those with small appetites may struggle to finish it, while those with larger appetites will have no problem polishing it off and might even crave another bite or two. So if you find yourself in Italy, get ready to discover the various types of pizzas and how to order them. Let's delve into the wonderful world of Italian pizza. Pizza Margherita, as we mentioned, consists of tomato, basil, and mozzarella. This is a classic, and you can't go wrong no matter what city or town you happen to be in. Pizza marinara, which we mentioned as well, consists of tomato, oil, garlic, basil, and some anchovies. Pizza alla Pascoglia means forest style. So this includes porcini mushrooms, pizza a quattro formaggi, means 4 cheese, pizza. So this is classically with gorgonzola, mozzarella, tagliaglio, and Gruyères. These days it is common to see ricotta, parmigiano, or still others, but it needs 4 for sure. Pizza quattro Stagiano means 4 seasons, and each quadrant of the pizza represents a different season. Each pizzeria may have a slightly different take on this in terms of ingredients, but this will typically include ham, artichokes, olives, and mushrooms, and it's a really fun pizza visually. Pizza Capricciosa has prosciutto, mushrooms, artichokes, and mozzarella. Pizza Frutti di Mare is covered in seafood like clams, shrimps, calamari, and octopus. Pizza alla Diavola has tomato, mozzarella, and spicy sausage, where Diavola means devil, hence the hot and spicy sausage. Pizza a Carciofini means the marinated artichokes. Pizza alla Romana has tomato, mozzarella, and anchovies. Pizza allo speck, a mascarpone, has a smoked ham and mascarpone cheese. Pizza calabrese, a tomato, mozzarella, and sharp salami. Pizza carbonara has mozzarella. Pancetta, which is a sort of like bacon, egg, and parmigiano. And pizza trincaria, to celebrate Sicily, has tomato, anchovies, capers, and olives. As you can see, while Italians do indeed put toppings on their pizza, there is a fairly limited set of options, and they don't cover the pizza as abundantly as Americans. But any pizza lover would have to admit, sitting down in a nice pizza in any Italian city and digging into a gourmet pizza is one of the most enjoyable experiences imaginable. Let us know your thoughts on which pizza do you think is the best in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, we'd love it if you'd hit the thumbs up button below. Subscribe to our channel. We put our diverse range of topics from the latest in technology to awe-inspiring travel adventures and informative explainer videos. Stay tuned weekly for exciting updates and embark on a journey of endless discovery with Wonder Wisdom.